everyone. We are live. Hopefully, we are. Um, how are we doing today? We are back for another episode of Therosian Odyssey. You're gonna have to excuse me if any of my words muddle up today. I'm very tired. Therosian Odyssey Tides of Volition, second episode. We had our premiere episode last week, and it was so good to be back. I really miss playing with all of you. So I'm looking forward to playing some more D&D.
Dinda.
And I get to see so many people in chat today. I just want to let you all know as well that if anything goes wrong, it's Lindsay's fault, because before we went live, Lindsay went, "Oh well, we haven't had any," and she knocked on wood and did all the usual stuff. But I did immediately spill Coke on myself, so
it could be worse. It could be the other kind of Coke. So
yeah.
No, it's Coca-Cola.
You're Coca-Cola.
Don't make me laugh again. Or I'm gonna just end up with it all over me again. All right.
Okay,
cool.
Darcy.
Let's
okay.
go around. Let's introduce ourselves and say who we're going to be playing. Maybe a little one sentence about your character and how we're feeling, and then we'll kind of get into it. Let's start with. I'm gonna go straight down the middle because poor Kumi is always in the middle. So Kumi, you're going first today.
Hello, I'm Kumi, and I play the barbarian Kulyuka. And after this thing breaking my heart into a million pieces and fixing up slowly with the love of family, we had a wonderful session where in the first season, in the first episode, where I left my family behind, in the second season, in the first episode, I got to see them again, and it's been really nice, and I'm excited to go to see. Primarily because, like the spiders and the caves we had to roam in, I couldn't see in the dark, and here I can't swim. So this is going to be exciting to see what happens and how many skill checks I'll be rolling today.
I feel like Kumi's never going to let this go. We're going to hear this every single episode. It's going to be, when we went into that cave and I couldn't see. Yeah, we all heard all about that, and it was great. Okay, so let's go with Lindsay next. That's a face of a person who knows that's coming.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay. I play Eva, your Kenku ranger / rogue / who knows what she actually does. It's really fun. On our last episode, I got to be proficient in Thieves' Tools after not originally being proficient in Thieves' Tools for some reason. So really excited to use this on a boat in the ocean. Maybe not the best time to learn this, but who knows? Treasure chests are often locked.
Often they are. And you're going to need someone that's proficient with these tools. Oh, but if worst case scenario happens, I'm sure that we have someone in this party who's good at just smashing things to pieces to get them open. Looking at you, Onyx. Okay, so let's go with our beloved Lulu next.
Good morning. I'm Lulu. You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little under the weather. But I will be playing Callista, our part Triton cleric, who actually is part rogue also, and is sure that she is the best at picking locks. We'll have to see how that goes, because all of those doors really were locked that she opened. Absolutely no question. But she is excited to get out on sea. She's been dreaming about it all of her life. Hopefully she doesn't get seasick. We'll see. Maybe that's just Lulu creeping through. That's Callista.
All right, and we hope you feel a little bit better soon. Let's go Jen next.
Hello, my dear friends. My name is Jen. I will be playing your very emotional today half-elven wizard Estrella, who went ahead and did the calculation in the meta and discovered that Jericho has picked, of his 21,672 locks, 0.31% were unlocked already. Because Jen did record those numbers, and Jen went ahead and did some math. And by did some math,
you know what?
I mean
your homework for next week is I can't believe you mathed that. Your homework for next week is to figure out, on average, how many locks were picked a day in order for that to be possible.
How long has he been picking locks?
Let's say since he was 10 years old.
How old is he? Yeah.
42.
You know what? I'll come back to you with that.
Okay, deal. All right. Anyway, that's me.
Viewers, we'll get the numbers to you next week.
Sounds good. Anyway, that's me. Just being very in character by accident, but that's me.
Very in character. You, Australia, running the numbers. All right. Last but not least, let's go, Joan.
Yeah, Jen accidentally did a complicated math problem.
It was one arithmetic. It was just 60.
Just
it was
one
just
arithmetic.
67
I just
divided by
slipped and did a calculation.
21,672.
Anyways.
I don't think I'm okay today. Like, I just spilled Coke on me again. Am I just unable to drink? Like,
Is this the old recipe?
Very basic human thing of being able to just drink.
First day with your new lips. Because we've all heard that one before. Okay, I'm Joan, and I play Onyx. I'm tired. Sorry. Onyx is an Azamar paladin of Nilia. She's also Nyxborn. And she also had a very satisfying arc last season where she lost and then reunited with her mommies. And she is here this season mostly to be muscle and to hit things very hard.
Mostly to be muscle and hit things very hard. I love that.
And to beat up Kalyuka's brother.
Wow, that's a nice segue right there. Cool. So I guess we will. Oh, I'm. What am I doing? I'm Kat. And I will be telling this story today, or assisting these players in telling this story today. Words are hard. It's okay. It's not like I got to do this for the next 3 hours. Okay, so I guess we should just get straight into it. Last session, you all returned to Akros after your fun adventures. Fun for all of you, except it sounds like Kalyuka.
Fun is a strong word.
Admirable adventures. Engaging adventures, let's go with that. Over in Statessa, where you saved Onyx's mothers, as well as some other generic Statessan number 5 type people, and also unveiled a dastardly plot that was being dreamt up by Cassian's father, who had just seemed like such a nice man up until that point. There was just no way that he could be behind something like that, but people can do some surprising things. So you found this really shocking information out, and you unveiled it to everyone, and he got away. So Reaper in the chat, the Ulysses heel turn threw me completely last season. But yeah, so he got away, and you were all kind of left to pick up the pieces. And that included heading back to Akros to answer to the current regent sitting on the throne, Taranika Krios, who is the niece of the missing queen. In the letter that you all discovered, you found out that the queen had been taken by Ulysses and his partner in crime and possibly grossly romance Lady Helene. But you're not sure where, other than that she is situated somewhere in the Dakra Isles. So you spoke with Taranika, and you then where am I? Sorry, I just got distracted by something that came up on the screen and now I've just lost it. You spoke with Taranika and she assigned you your mission, which is to go out to sea and figure out if you can find the missing queen and possibly bring Ulysses Leos and Lady Helene to justice, maybe. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I know that Akros's priority is definitely the queen first. I feel like Estrella's priority might be slightly different. She's very much like, so we're killing them and then we're finding the queen, right?
Estrella's priority is definitely a little on the murderous side.
A little on the murderous side, yeah. That's not really surprising, to be fair, given a lot of the context. You then each kind of went out, had a moment to catch up with some people. Kaliuka, you got to go and visit your family, as you just mentioned, and it was not the terribly frightening reunion that you'd expected, but there was definitely some conversations to be had, which you all did, and I feel like we came to some sort of begrudging resolution, at least. So you may now leave Akros knowing that you have at least made partial peace with your family and some development towards growth. And in
my
doing
brother,
so it seems,
my brother let me know about something to chase after, a special instrument.
a magical instrument that is said to be situated somewhere within the Dakra Isles, which just happens to be where you're going. It's almost like somebody planned this. And Onyx, you find yourself now with a sort of rival, thanks to Kaliuka telling her older brother, who is supposedly one of the best warriors in Akros, that you are better. You then, Callista and Eva went and visited Jericho, my favorite Thieves Guild NPC type that I've ever written in my life. And that was a fun little interaction. He told you all that he basically knew everything that you've been doing, but he gave you a crew because you already had a ship. So they will be waiting for you in Miletus. And he had a little moment with Eva as well. Did either of you want to expand on that a little bit?
I just wanted to say, when Eva comes out of Jericho's office, having had her secret meeting, Callista has been out kind of in the bar area, I imagine it as, trying to get some of the other Thieves Guild members to teach her how to play dice, and has been gambling because she's picking up all sorts of bad habits. And since they are going to sea, it seems like a good skill to have. She does it about as well as she picks locks.
I am just really in love with the idea of all these like really shady people that are like rough, they got covered in scars, and they're just sitting around and they're just patiently teaching Callista how to play dice.
She just badly lies, and then they're just like, no. Like your tail right here, it's just like your fin twitches.
You see the fin twitching, Callista, stop. Yeah, I can literally just picture that. Eva, very surprised about how well embedded. I mean, she's a very sweet person, you know that, but Callista seems to have captured the hearts of the Thieves Guild of Akros to the point that they will just throw away any security, any level of secrecy in order to aid her. And I'm pretty sure that if anything were to happen to Callista here, the entire Thieves Guild would be after them, whoever the villain was,
as they say.
Yeah, they would just all be up with the knives. All right, and it lands us, and I decided that there was a couple of other role-play moments, but I decided to save them till this week because we literally only had 5 minutes of the session last week, and I didn't really think I was going to do them justice. So I will now move on to Onyx, who I believe had, compared to Satessa, very little to do here in Outcross. Don't really have any people that you know or any contacts as such that you might want to go and visit. Pretty much your whole life is kind of sitting in Satessa, probably currently having breakfast together. But you find yourself wondering, and I seem to remember that you said kind of the things that you wanted to do were to keep training, see if you could find a shrine to Nilia. And you kind of wander the streets, you ask around, and people kind of tell you that one doesn't really exist here in Outcross.
What?
People might have kind of in their homes, in their personal homes, like little kind of like shrines, or at the bottom of their gardens, kind of little dedications, but there isn't a temple to Nilia. There isn't a big shrine even. Outcross is a very dry, deserty city. And so even though there's plenty of wilderness here, which of course you being Nilia's champion would see that and say, well, this is still Nilia's domain, they seem to place more import on gods such as Iroas, and sort of like Keranos, god of storms, also since the queen came to power, has had a big part within worship here in Outcross. So you kind of set yourself more to the training side of things, and you sort of visit the combat grounds regularly as the others kind of go off and to do their things with when you're not studying with Jen, which I'm sure you really enjoy having Astrea just recite facts at you. But you head to the training grounds, and you kind of practice some of your poses and try to keep yourself in shape. What is your make a perception check for me?
Oh shit, I should probably open up my character sheet, huh?
That's okay. This is literally me every time I start this stream. I'm like, oh, I should probably have all of these things open that I'm opening right now as I try and narrate this.
Perception.
Let me just figure out these captions while you make that roll.
7. I'm not rolling any more
7.
digital dice.
Yeah, I feel like you're a little frustrated that
Heathens don't have proper temples.
Yeah, exactly. And you miss your family, and there's just that, even that having that shrine to Nilia would have been some connection, some feeling of being back at home, something that you could feel as if you're kind of part of, like, back where your family is. And there's just none of that here. And I feel like at this point, you're coming to the day, it's sort of, you're coming to the day where it's go time, and you're getting a little bit antsy. It's like everyone else is kind of, oh, I've got all these things to do, and you're more along the lines of bored here. So you're kind of so lost in these thoughts and these frustrations that you aren't aware that anyone is behind you until the spear kind of whistles past your ear and embeds itself in the ground. And you turn around, and smiling at you with his arms crossed is Kalyuka's older brother, Kiroba. And he kind of gives you a little smirk And he says, you're going to have to be a lot more perceptive than that if you're going to be better than me in combat.
You might think that, but I'm sure I could beat you with my ears plugged and my eyes closed.
Really? Sounds like you haven't heard of me at all.
Should I have?
And he kind of, you get the sense that he's being quite playful. He's enjoying this. He hasn't really had like much of a rivalry with anyone. He's kind of known within the city as being like the one to beat, and Killjoy's kind of pride and joy in terms of training. And he really is not used to having like new challenges, new people to fight, because he's just always fighting the same people and he's always beating them. And he kind of smiles and he goes, well, no, he probably wouldn't have. I know that the prowess of a warrior is not Cetessa's ultimate priority.
Perhaps not. At least not male warriors.
He quirks an eyebrow, and he goes, are you busy right now?
I'm simply training.
I thought we could spar, seeing as you're going to have to leave soon.
If that's what you want.
See if my sister's predictions are correct, I suppose.
Be my guest.
All right. Roll initiative.
Sweet. Nice. 20.
And he got a 16. So you get to go first.
All right.
So he kind of heads over and he grabs the spear. And no sooner as he pulled it out of the ground, what are you doing?
I'm just going to make an attack, but what I would like to try to do is to cut the spear in half.
Okay. Cool. I love that. Yes. Make an attack. And I just want to point out that in the kind of the combat that we're doing here, obviously it's just sparring, so all of the attacks will be non-lethal, and it will be more about like your HP is more about just your tiredness levels rather than like actual any health going. It's just kind of a track to see how well you're doing, basically.
I got just a measly 24.
A measly 24.
God.
I mean, it's no 25, but
it's no 25.
No 25. It's no 25. But it does still hit. And yeah, I'll allow it. To he kind of goes. He picks up the spear out of the ground, and raises his shield. And at that moment, you kind of sweep your sword forward and just hack straight through the spear, barely kind of missing his midriff, and he kind of like jumps back and he's hey whoa.
And that was 14 damage, and I actually get to take a second attack.
Yeah, you do.
Amazing.
Oh, that one wasn't as good. 9.
And then you kind of like swing again, and this time he kind of darts out the way. He kind of knocks it back with his shield. He has got currently he's kind of like just immediately thrown aside this now broken spear. He's got a shield in his arm, and he's got a few spears kind of on his back, so he kind of like grins at you and he goes, so you're quick, but not that quick. And he pulls his spear out and he will take his first attack. 1A. Okay. That's a nat 20.
Oh, come on.
Oh my god.
So actually what he's doing first is he's going in with the shield first. So he's going to attempt to bash you with his shield. So luckily, that actually the shield does less damage, but it has a different effect. So he will do. I'm gonna just add all the damage up. So he does like kind of like, I guess 40. You didn't roll damage, did you, with yours?
I did. It was 14.
14, that's right. And he does 14 damage to you. And then I need you to make a strength saving throw.
15.
15.
Mhm.
You passed it just about. He was basically attempting to bash you down to the floor to kind of knock you prone. So he kind of hits you in the side of the face, and you feel yourself like trip backwards, but you manage to steady yourself. He's going to go with the shield again and try and do the same thing. And that is, he rolled. So that's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And that is.
Wow.
9 points of damage. How many hit points do you have, by the way?
45 total.
Okay.
My turn?
You need to make another strength saving throw for me.
That was well over a 15. I rolled a 15 on the die.
Okay, perfect. So again, he fails to knock you down, but he is pretty quick, and he can actually make 3 melee attacks in one turn.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. He's pretty.
What class is he?
A fighter?
Huh?
Is he
What
a fighter
class?
or a what class?
No. I have found myself a sort of NPC stat block.
Oh.
Don't you worry. But he kind of goes in, and he kind of realizes that the shield, it's not working. You're just too strong, and you're kind of not. He's not able to knock you down. So then he goes in with the shield and tries to jab you in the side. But remind me of your armor class, because I don't think that's going to hit.
18.
18, so that doesn't hit.
Cool.
So he kind of tries to jab you in the side and misses, and then he kind of steps back and raises his shield and gets ready for the onslaught. And it is your go.
Okay, I'm gonna use a bonus action to cast Thunderous Smite. And I got a 23.
23.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing I want to just understand this. We're doing a non-lethal Thunderous Smite.
Yeah, it's just loud and forceful.
Forceful. Okay, so 23 does hit.
Wait.
This is kind of like the reverse of that the handshake prank where it shocks the other person a little, but you just whack them.
Oh, wait, hold on. And let me just did 19 damage, and now it needs to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, getting him right back there with a strength saving throw.
But I'm not sure what that is against.
I'm rolling really well. He rolled a nat 20 for the strength saving
Are
throw.
you kidding me?
20, but at least it
Wow.
wasn't an attack this time.
Yeah.
27 that comes to.
I have no idea what it's against, so but I'm assuming that a nat 20 passes.
So is it so for Thunderous Smite, does it say like what your spell casting?
Oh, spell save DC. I
I
have
also
no
suspect
idea.
it's less than 27.
Yeah, I suspect that also, but I'm
It's
I don't
probably
where
good to
is
know.
that?
Just in
I'm
case.
usually not playing a spellcaster.
No, you're okay. Let me find it. So on your list of spells, it should come up at the top. It will say like spell save DC. It will have the
Alternatively, it's usually your
okay.
proficiency bonus plus 8 plus your relevant casting modifier.
13. It's 13.
16.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you pass.
That's pretty good.
No, 13.
But okay, but it's not enough. Cool.
Yeah.
So
But I still did 19 damage.
So
Oh,
you do 90 damage. You kind of like swing round, and as your sword makes impact, there's just this loud boom that just sends him flying backwards. And he kind of hits the dust, immediately kind of does this like roly-poly into like parkours his way out of the like just falling flat on his ass, and he kind of like has this kind of like Iron Man pose, and he like gets up and he like lets out this loud like whoop, and he's like, yeah, that's more like it. And then he
I still get another attack.
yeah, you do.
That was one.
oh my god.
That one's not gonna hit.
That's not gonna hit. What was it?
11.
11, yeah. and you kind of run forward and swipe again, and he kind of uses the like pommel of your sword to kind of like flip himself over, so that he essentially kind of jumps over your sword as it lands. But he's smiling. He's really pumped, and he then goes, okay, my turn, and he attempts to come in with a shield again. So let's see. At some point I'm gonna have to do a Captain America reference, aren't I? I do this all day. Okay, the shield was a 2 to hit, so we're gonna go ahead and assume that don't hit. So he tries to like smashes with the shield, and then he comes in to jab with the spear, and that is 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That is Akros's ass.
Hey. So that is 13 points of damage.
Jeez. Wow.
Oh no, sorry. Wait, don't do that. I'm rolling the wrong dice there. Because he's one-handed, not two-handed. So actually, that is 9 points. No, 7 plus 4. 11. 11 points of maths. 11 points of damage. Spear with 2 hands is D8. 1 hand is D6, and I just rolled a D8, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay.
Love it when he handles his spear with 2 hands.
I was just thinking how funny it is. Jen is doing all this high level math to figure out how many, locks weren't actually locked, and the rest of us have trouble doing basic addition.
And then here's the dick jokes.
It's me just like 7 plus 4. What is that?
To be fair, I used a calculator. I just like punched in numbers on a calculator.
Okay. All right. And then he's going to go in with the spear one more time. And that is a 19 to hit. So
that just barely hits me.
Okay. And that's 7 points of damage. How you doing? How you holding up?
I'm up.
Good. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. No, I think that's all that he needs to know. He doesn't need, he's not like looking for, is she about to go down or anything like that. He just is like, she's still up. That's my priority. And that is his 3 goes. And it is your turn. I'm gonna say he's looking like really like pumped up and stuff, but he is starting to look tired as well.
Let me. What? I could have been adding an extra 1d4 this whole time. Damn it.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's okay.
Retroactively?
Listen, I haven't put you in much combat, so like it's okay if you've forgotten things. Just add.
Aw.
I think you've
All
hit
right.
him. How many attacks have you hit
3?
him with? 3. So roll 3d4 for me.
8 total.
8 total. Okay. Just
Mhm.
note that down. Okay, and is that
And then-
come with any special effect? Is it a special type of
It's
damage? Is it
radiant.
radiant
Yeah.
damage, yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then I'm just looking to see. I'm going to use a bonus action to do Hunter's Mark.
All the damage.
Mhm. And then I'm going to try to hit him again. Instead of
Hit him
healing
again.
myself, which means I'm probably going to go down next round, but oh god, that's not going to hit. It's at 12.
Oh.
One more shot.
No, 12 won't hit.
What about a 16?
A 16 would have hit, but he has a parry reaction. So you
Ah.
no, because the other 3 times you've like done way too much in the number for him to be able to use it, but it essentially adds 3 to his AC. So he just kind of like parries off with his spear. You can tell that I'm not a fighter because the way that I'm just wiggling my hands around it is not not the one. But he kind of just parries off and he says, "You getting tired yet?"
Hold on. I'm level 7, right?
Yes.
I think that my total hit points are wrong because of the thing that we did.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah. I think I should have more hit points, but I don't know how would be the most fair way to adjust that right now.
Okay. Let's say because of the thing we did,
because 45 for a level 7 paladin sounds low, right?
no,
I
that
was-
does sound low.
I was wondering why the cleric had more hit points than the paladin, but
I mean,
you know.
it
Yeah,
also
that doesn't
depends
sound quite
on
right.
it also depends on your constitution. But
Yeah.
because like average for a paladin D10 is 6, 5.5 really, but 6 times 7 is about 42 plus whatever your con mod is. So it's not
1.
That's about average for what it should be then. But also I don't know how well you rolled.
Okay, what level are you? You are level 7, right?
7. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we did we did rejigs and stuff. So let's get you
I
to
could
roll.
I was gonna say we could just roll them all.
Roll now for me 6d10
Okay. 2. 3.
and re-roll any ones.
Yeah, because that's the thing is if I was re-rolling ones, I think it would be a little bit higher.
Get your character sheet up. Yeah, I did not think about that, and that is on me. I apologize.
It's not your fault. I should have thought about it too. 15. You said 60-10, right?
6d10 because the first d10 will automatically be a 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have 10 hit points plus whatever you roll on this 6d10.
that can't be right. Hold on.
And plus your constitution as well, obviously.
Okay. Okay, 15. No, 16. 27. Plus 10 would be 37. Plus my constitution.
You have +7 for
Would be-
constitution. So currently your rolled HP
So
is 38.
it's about the
It's about the
no,
same.
well, it would be 44. So it would be the same pretty much.
Okay, well I'll add in that extra little bit because I think that it. So let's put your rolled
Yeah,
HP
it
as
would be the same. It would be it would be a difference of 1 hit point, and it would actually be down 1. Oh, yeah, because I added the 10 from the first level.
Okay.
So 45 is
So
correct.
what did you roll on the 60-10 then?
I rolled pretty low on a couple of them. I rolled like a 2 and a 3, and I didn't really roll many over 5. So yeah, I guess that's probably just what happened.
All right. We'll go back to we'll keep it as it currently is then.
Mm-hmm. Unless, to be fair, if you want to take it down to 44, that's fair because I
No,
did bring it
don't
up.
worry about it. It's
All
literally it's literally the difference of 1 hit point. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
All right, so go ahead and destroy me now.
Okay. Well, hold on. Now he might miss.
He might.
Okay. So he says, so you getting tired yet?
I'll admit I'm a little winded. You're better than I thought.
Cool. And he goes for that attack. He misses with the first one.
Nice.
He goes for the second. That is gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a 17. No, so you have an 18 armor class, don't you?
I do have an 18.
Oh, he's
gonna glance off.
Is he getting cocky? No, that is gonna be a hit.
All right.
So he kind of like, and it's kind of almost like he's playful. Like the first one, he like jabs out and he goes, and then he like jabs out again and he goes, oh, and then he like goes to jab out with the last one. And he goes to hit, and it would have been a hit, right? But the tip of the spear kind of like sits itself right here. And he stops. And he puts the spear down by his side and he holds out his hand and he goes, I'd call that a tie.
All right.
Guess we'll have to do it again someday and find out who's the real victor.
Maybe when I haven't been training all day already.
Yeah. I mean, I have also been training all day too, but that's fine.
Listen, I gotta save face somehow.
And he kind of smiles and he says, so you're going out with my sister then, taking her out on an adventure. You watch her back?
Naturally.
Yeah, it's good to know that she'll have you at her side because you are on a kind of par with my skill level, and she was nowhere near it. So it's important that she will have someone that can look after her.
Well, she's a better musician than either of us are fighters, so.
That is, he kind of like smiles, and it's kind of like quite a soft smile at time. And he's just like, yeah, she is. Boy, I remember when she brought those bagpipes home, and I just thought, why? I asked the deities of all the musical instruments that Kalyuka could become obsessed with, why did it have to be the loudest? But she plays them well.
She does, and I admit they're a little strange, but they do have a unique and endearing character.
Yeah. Like her, really. But don't tell her I said that.
Your secret's safe with me.
And he's kind of slouched. He's kind of like got his spear and he's like leaning against it. And then something catches his eye behind you, and he sort of straightens up. And he says, "Oh, Lord Commander Cassian." And you turn around, and Cassian is stood behind you.
Cassian?
That was quite the show.
Well, I wasn't aware we had an audience, but I'm pleased to have been entertaining.
And he kind of looks a bit awkwardly between you and Koroba, and then Koroba kind of takes the hint and says, "Oh, well, it was a pleasure fighting with you, Onyx of Setessa, and I'm sure that we will do so again soon, and I will thoroughly kick your butt next time. Good day."
You just better hope that I don't get a better weapon.
And just leaves you and Cassian, who looks a little awkward and a little tired. And he says, I have been informed that you have been looking for some kind of shrine to Nilia.
Is there one? I haven't been able to locate one so far.
Not an official one. But I know of a place. I can accompany you.
Certainly, I would appreciate that very much.
And he's quite like tense. He's quite like, he doesn't really know how to have this interaction. So he kind of just goes, okay, follow. He kind of goes as if you say like lead the way, and then he realizes he's got to lead the way. So he's like, follow me.
I hope your injuries are recovering well.
Yes, they are getting better every day. Still a little sore around the ribs, you know. Will be not a long time, but a little while before I can fight like that again.
Well, happy to. Well, it seems I've become something of a dueler lately. So if you feel the need to test your skill, I suppose the invitation stands open.
Well, probably not before you all leave, but when you return to Akros, I will hopefully be feeling better, and I might take you up on that.
I will be counting on it.
And he, the two of you kind of walk in relative silence for a little while. And he kind of takes you through the streets. It's towards the gate of the city. So he is actually taking you outside of the city. And he kind of nods at the guard standing at the gate, and they kind of stand up straighter, stand to attention. A kind of newfound respect, I think, from the soldiers. You're not really sure what's driving it, I suppose, whether it's just because, oh, well, he's in charge now, so we have to be respectful, or whether there is actually any genuine respect there. But definitely you would probably at least acknowledge that the way that they were kind of acting around him before is now very different, because he is of an elevated station. He is now the Lord Commander. So they kind of straighten up, and they kind of let you both by. And he says to you, so how are you feeling about the upcoming journey? You must miss your mothers.
Certainly. After all, the last time I left, one of them was seduced into a strange experiment and kidnapped, and numerous other aspects of the experience that I don't care to go into. But now that she's safe at home, I can only continue on my original journey.
Yes.
You've recently had a great deal of change as well. How's your new role suiting you?
With some difficulty, but I will adjust as I must.
Certainly. It must be difficult for you and Estrella to be separated, since you've been spending so much time together lately.
He kind of at the mention of Estrella's name, he kind of coughs, clears his throat a little bit, and he goes, yes, well, she won't have to worry about that any longer.
It's an interesting way of putting it.
Our relationship has always been, we have spent time together out of necessity rather than because we wanted to, I suppose. Sort of. It's complicated.
I see. Well, in any case, the necessity is no longer there. So if you chose to spend time together, you would have nothing impeding you.
He just he gives you like a really long look, like for like a bit of a side-eyed look, says nothing, and then after a minute or so silence, he goes, it's this way, and he seems to be leading you. It's not too far from the city, and as I said, the city is kind of like this walled fortress, like in the middle of a very desert. There's like some plains, there's some grassy plains, but it's not, it's very dry and dusty. But kind of just ahead, you kind of round a sort of rock face, and you see the kind of like these two large boulders, and they sort of seem to lead into this large grove. And it's a lot more familiar. It's not a forest, but there is an abundance of plant life that seems to be relatively well taken care of, but still somehow feels wild. It kind of sticks out in the middle of its surroundings, but it's strangely also hidden. And he goes, it's just up on ahead. It's a place that my mother built, actually, so that's how I know about it.
Oh, was your mother a worshiper of Nilia?
Yes and no. She came from Setessa originally. She wanted something that made her feel connected to home.
I see. Thank you for sharing this with me.
It's quite all right. I just felt that perhaps you would be feeling a little out of place. And he kind of leads you in, and he says, it's only me and Andrea, she's an old friend of my mother's, really. She knows about the place. She kind of keeps it and looks after it. And as you kind of like walk in, there's quite a lot of wildlife here as well. There's a lot of like animals, and it really reminds you actually of the in Setessa. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I believe it was the amateur.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they kind of like look after. It's like a kind of like natural, like sort of like a park, but it's like a preserved area of natural beauty, and they kind of looking after the wildlife. And you can kind of see, and he kind of gestures at this woman who's at that point she's kind of just tending to some of the wildlife and kind of checking through the roots and the leaves, and she just kind of like waves but doesn't engage. And he says I suppose I wanted to talk to you as well regarding Astrea. I'm not going to be there to defend her, so I need to know that you will. You clearly have a warrior's prowess. You're a strong fighter, and Astrea doesn't always necessarily see the value in the sword, but my experience with her is she's always a person that looks forward. She doesn't look back. And I feel that perhaps it will be the same with this. She's finished her studies with me now. She no longer needs Akros. But it's also her tell. In battle, she also forgets to look behind her sometimes. So I guess what I'm saying is, Onyx of Setessa, if you wouldn't mind watching Astrea's back while she is busy looking forward, I would very much appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I suspect that there will always be a place for Akros in her heart.
I am watching Jen reacting to this and loving every second of it. Jen signs up for this willingly. Jen does. Okay, and he kind of like just kind of slightly looks off to the side and doesn't meet your eye at that comment, but he says, oh, and well, there is something I wanted to show you actually. And he lets out a low whistle, and around the corner from behind some kind of like some rather tall shrubbery pads a recognizable lion that you immediately realize from the way that it is radiating this cosmic energy, and the slight limp that it gives as it walks is the lion that you fought in the arena. And he looks at you and goes, now before you make the wrong assumption that I have captured this lion and I'm keeping it here,
don't worry,
it
I
was
don't
well on its way to the Setessan forest, but Andrea found it, and it wouldn't have made it, I'm afraid. It was quite severely injured, so she brought it back here and she has been looking after it. Her and I have been looking after it. Not even Astrea knows about this one, so
Would
you're
you
lucky.
Prefer that I keep it a secret?
Oh, no, it will probably, Andrea will most likely take it. It's much recovered now, so Andrea will take it to Setessa to be looked after in the Amatrophon.
Can
where it
I
belongs.
use my special Nilia power to talk to it?
You absolutely can.
Yay!
yeah. And this lion kind of looks at you, and it kind of pads forward and it sniffs the air, and it's really quite big. It stops in front of Cassian, and it like lowers its head a little, and Cassian just kind of like puts his hand on its muzzle, and he said, "I didn't tell Estrella because she made it quite clear how she felt about the animal not being allowed to be escaped and free in the wild, and I worried that she might get the wrong impression."
Well, I think I kind of just nod at him, and then I'll turn to the lion and say, "How are you, younger brother? Are you being treated well?"
I think that we did say that the lion was. I should
was
probably
it a girl?
say lioness. It was a female lion.
Okay. Sister.
So yes. So lioness. I'll stop saying lion. And she kind of looks at you and sniffs, and she says, "We have met before."
We have.
I am better.
That is
Paw
good.
hurts.
I understand that you've been injured and these two are trying to help you.
Yes. Home soon.
Very good. Is there anything you want me to tell them?
Thank you.
Very good. She says thank you.
Cassie's just looking at you like, "Oh, you're speaking to her?"
Oh yeah. Also Tessans can do it. You didn't know that?
Really?
Should I make a bluff check, or do they have deception?
Make a deception check for me.
11.
His eyes go wide. Estrella never told me that.
Estrella probably only tells you exactly what you need to know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And he kind of looks around and he goes, well, anyway, I just wanted to bring you here. You know your way back to the city, I presume.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
Then, Onyx or Satessa, I shall leave you to your worship. Feel free to take as much time here as you would like.
Thank you again, Lord Commander.
Still finding it hard to get used to that. And he kind of quickly marches out of the area. Is there anything else that you would like to do here? Andrea kind of continues to pick at the weeds. So she is kind of looking very curiously over at you. Obviously, normally they don't get guests here.
I think I would just kind of like nod at her and then maybe spend some time chit-chatting with the lion, just like lion shit, like just lying around. And maybe like take a moment to make some prayers to Nilia, and if I had anything in my bag, make an offering of some kind. And yeah, I'm just take some time to enjoy myself in there, and then eventually make my way back and meet up with everyone. And
all right.
And let Estrella know that she can't tell Cassian that all Cetessans don't talk to animals. Just trust me on this.
Was that a thing?
It is now.
Who am I lying to?
Cassian.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of take a little bit of time. You chat with the lion a little bit more, and at one point Andrea does kind of walk over
Mhm.
And she kind of says, "You're very good with him, with her. Sorry, with her.
Very, very ghost.
Good.
Oh, thank you.
Lions are not known for, fondness of strangers."
Well, we share a common something.
I'm not interrupting, am I? You worship Milia?
Yes, but I'm not bothered.
Oh, good. Good. How do you find that, your worship of Milia?
I find it. I suppose I'm not sure how to answer the question. I haven't worshipped anyone else, or it hasn't occurred to me to worship anyone else. And she's rewarded my faithfulness. And it's because of her that I am able to connect with this creature and others like it.
You sound very grateful.
I am.
And she looks at you in the eye and she said, "That's why you're my favorite champion." And then she just dissipates into leaves and is carried on the wind. And you return to Akros, maybe a little bit bamboozled.
Onyx might be bamboozled, but Joan's not.
Joan is chill. Joan is chill as that.
Joan's like, that was dope. That's pretty fucking cool.
Cool.
Can I assume that I take a long rest and get my hit points back?
Yes. Okay. You were, absolutely. Heal yourself up. Okay. Cool. So we shall move on to Astrea. And Astrea, I believe that you spent a lot of time in the library.
Yeah.
But there was something else that you wanted to do. And you'll find over your time here in Akros, you spend a lot of time in the library. You're kind of going around making yourself busy, trying to prepare yourself for this voyage and trying to prepare your fellow teammates for this voyage as well. And in a way, it has meant that you and Cassian have not really had a chance to sit down and talk. But in a way, it's almost felt a little bit like you've been avoiding each other. It's kind of all those awkward moments of when you do kind of run into each other. It's like that, oh, after you, no, and just.
Oh my god, we go to the same direction. We have to like play the fucking dance of like sliding side to side.
But you haven't really properly had a chat. So I suppose you kind of resign yourself to having to have that conversation because you can't quite let it go before you leave. And you look for him in his usual areas, his usual haunts, the training grounds mostly, and his room, and you can't find him anywhere. And then eventually you do think of one spot where you might find him.
Yeah.
And I suppose you make your way to the tombs where you would find Cassian's mother's tomb.
Yeah. I think I spend a few moments just kind of like observing, just to kind of gauge his mood, see if I can, like, I've spent a lot of time with him over the last, however many months, just, gauge his mood, how he's standing, how he's carrying himself, and just kind of get a feel for Not necessarily where his head is at, because, you know, standing behind him, it's going to be hard to tell exactly like what his state of mind is, but just kind of get a general high level overview of, is he in a place to be having potentially a conversation.
So the way I mean, it is kind of like this sort of beautifully constructed building where you know that Cassian's mother's remains are kind of housed, and then in front of it is this sort of statue that has been built in her honor, and it is a very, you can only presume, accurate depiction of what she looked like in life, and there's a kind of like warm smile on its features, which actually relatively well contrasts with a lot of the other statues that are kind of in this same manner housed in front of. A lot of them look very solemn and very serious, but on his mother's there is this just sort of slight secretive smile, and in front of that is sort of like a bench that kind of faces, and he is sat on this bench. He has, you can see from this distance, he has his eyes closed, and occasionally he kind of like mutters something, but he's not really saying anything out loud. His brow is furrowed. He looks solemn, sad, a little stressed out, maybe.
Just a little.
And mostly I guess what would probably strike you most is just how lonely he looks in this moment. He's just sat kind of on this bench by himself. There's no one around, and he's just kind of sitting there half muttering, and as you sit and observe, eventually he stops, and he doesn't open his eyes, but he says, "You know, you can come over if you want to."
I kind of like pause for a second, and I'm just like quietly curse to myself, because of course he knows I'm there. I suppose I really should have known the only way I'd get a halfway decent recommendation from you would be by promising to leave afterwards. There isn't really any venom in my voice. It's just kind of like a wry, like, little bit
nod to the banter.
Yeah.
And I think that you would get a very similar response back. There would be no real venom or even real energy behind it, but you would get a, well, with you gone, maybe my life will be halfway peaceful.
She kind of like moves over to one of the walls, because I don't want to sit next to him because I will start crying. And it's like, gotta keep it together. You know, they're all looking for you in the well, I think they've sent no less than 3 servants out to look for you.
Good. Let them look. I just needed a bit of time to myself, Estrella.
I suppose I'll leave you to it.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean just without
people fussing and fitting you for all of your new clothes.
Yes, it has been quite. Kind of says yes. It has been quite full on. Yeah, it's been a lot. I've hardly had time to even think about what happened, really.
And what do you think about what happened?
Well, there was a sense of inevitability about it, I suppose, but I know he was horrible. I know that, but I didn't think he was a traitor. I thought he cared about Akros. I thought he cared about our queen.
Maybe at one point he did. But it seems that other things have won out over that.
I've just never known him to be a liar, I suppose. I've always known him to be brutally honest with his thoughts.
There's a difference between brutal honesty and unnecessary cruelty. That's my job.
Yes, that is always been our way, I suppose, isn't it?
How are you feeling, really? There's all these smiles and formalities and papers to be signed and dignitaries to meet. But how are you doing with it? Because I'm not going to be here to take care of the paperwork for you.
Oh, no, that much has been clear. I have already had to sign, and I had no idea how much you were doing for me.
Yes, I know. You were always busy. You were always busy in the training grounds with, what's his name? Your favorite sparring partner.
For some reason, the first name that came to my head was just Adonis, and I was like, no, that's too on the nose. I can't just call him Adonis.
Sure you can.
Let's just go Donis. Let's go.
Good old Donny boy.
Don. He kind of just smiles, and he goes, come now, Astrea. I'm sure that you used to appreciate the breaks from me.
Oh, immensely. It gave me an opportunity to, well, read to something that'll actually listen, like the gardens.
How am I feeling? I am feeling. Well, let me be blunt with you. I'm feeling sad and angry and scared, I suppose.
Man, you must be going through it.
Yes.
That's a lot of things that's a lot of words that I don't think I've ever heard you say in the same sentence as yourself. Well, maybe angry when I'm around, but
you know, I did used to resent you a lot when I first met you. You know, the way that you would chime in just as my father was really beating me down, you would back him up. But now I see that really we were both trapped. When I saw with how much ferocity you argue with him when you knew that you had the upper hand.
Which was most of the time.
I realized.
Which was most of the time. Sometimes I
yes,
had to let him
but
think he
you
was
were
winning.
relying on us. You were relying on us for your recommendation, and you had no choice. You had no choice but to agree with him.
Are you talking to myself or to yourself?
Do you disagree?
No. I'm just wondering how much of that is meant for me and how much of that is meant for you.
It's mostly meant for me, I think.
Yeah, I know.
How are you doing? Well, you've passed now your studies. Congratulations.
Graduation day, I suppose. I don't quite know what to do with it. I wasn't expecting to be free of my educational duties quite so soon. She does her very best to hide just a little bit of disappointment.
Yes, I must say that it rather crept up on me as well. I didn't think that she was going to say that.
You don't come here unless there is really something going on. I know there is something going on. I know with everything that happened over in Satessa. What are you worried about?
I am worried that my father's mark that he has left will be something that will people not be able to forgive me for. I am worried to be by myself because my father may have been cruel, but it has been just the two of us for quite some time. And now it is just me. And I want to do well. I don't want to let anyone down. And I'm worried about you. Yes, I am worried about you going off. I've become rather used to having to keep an eye on you.
Well, as to the last point, I can promise that I will do my very best to avoid, kind of like indicates the arrow holes in her shirt.
The now mended arrow holes.
The little patches.
And he says, please don't gesture to those. It's not making me feel better.
I'm alive. Look, first off, I'm fine. You successfully shepherded me all the way through my martial training and through graduation. If I turn into a human pincushion again, not on you, don't worry. As to your first point, you are the legacy of the Leos line, not your father. He forfeited his right to both Akros and to you the night, well, and the people will understand that. The fact that he decided actively not to bring you into the fold of his treason speaks volumes. He knew that you are better than him. Better for Akros. And will hold to the vows that you took to protect the city. And more importantly, at your worst, which is quite bad, 10 times the man he is at his best. If you tell anyone I said that, I will roast you over an open fire.
He kind of smiles, and then his face becomes more serious, and he says, I know that we apologize to each other in a way back in Satessa, but I want you to know that I am sorry that our relationship became so combative. I see that things would have been easier if I had been less difficult.
Oh, you were an asshole.
You see it really try hard not to say so were you, and just have this moment of just like, yes, I was an asshole. I was an asshole.
I was a better one.
Always got to be better, haven't you, Stray?
Always. She kind of like almost like stops for a second at the nickname because like, oh my god, my heart. Listen, where Ulysses is involved, what is done cannot be undone. He did what he did. Moving forward, you do what you do. Whatever happened with him has nothing to do with the time and effort that you and everyone around you have invested into your growth and your preparation to succeed him. You have spilled blood and risked your life for Akros. And from what I understand, you'd do it again.
I would.
That does not go unrecognized. More importantly, you are more than a sword. You are more than a wooden token on a map in your father's war room. Maybe a little bit more than a general whose commanding officer badgered him into taking on a student from a school in the neighboring city. A student who, for the record, as much as I hate to admit it, would be dead many times over without the protection and guidance of a martial instructor. Again, roasted. Your father may have held the title of the leader of House Leos, but you have always been the scion. And you are how your people find their way through this.
You really think I can do this, Astro?
I have been preparing you to do this for months. You think, on the surface, you think, you fight, you are like an Acrosian. But you know techniques, you know the history and the martial techniques and the theories and tactics from Setessa, from Miletus. We've talked about everything from Akros, Setessa, Miletus, and beyond. Why do you think I never shut up about those stupid battle tactics and formations from...
I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about here. Do you think I can do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course you can do it.
Okay. Well, and he kind of reaches into his sort of like overcoat pocket. He says, I have something for you. Actually.
Is it a handful of worms again?
It's not a handful of worms.
You're right, your retainers would absolutely kill you.
Two sort of round, very polished glass orbs. In
I'm so
one,
sorry,
don't. Why would you? Yep, he pulls out two globes. Yep. Wow, really. Thanks for the emotion in the scene, Jen. You're really killing it. And in one, you can see it is a sort of an ocean scene. It is this beautifully crafted. It's like it's made of glass inside, but it's magical. So there's like sort of moving parts to it. But it's this beautifully crafted like ocean scene with a small boat and sort of thunder clouds on the horizon, and every so often a sort of little like magical lightning strike comes out of it. And in it, sort of flying over this boat is a bird that looks exactly like your familiar, just kind of flying, and it is flying sort of away from the boat and looking towards land. And in the other orb is the land portion, and it is sort of like a kind of cliff top with this sort of like setting sun in the background, and right at the edge of the cliff is standing a small lion cub, and as he holds them up to you, it kind of looks like this bird and this lion cub are facing each other. And he says, he kind of gives you the orb with the bird in it. And he says, I suppose the thing that I really wanted to say to you is, before I first met you, my father told me about your history. He told me about all of it. He had informants and things that found out about more than you probably knew that he knew. Or you're smart. You probably knew that he knew, but he knew. And he told me. And
a look of absolute like mortification just oh god.
He says, I know that you are a person that likes to look to the next thing. You are excited and passionate about learning the new, and that probably comes from a need to constantly seeking somewhere to belong. I guess what I'm trying to say is it must be difficult at any point for someone in their life to have felt like they didn't have a home, a true home, a real home. And it's wonderful that you're going to go on these adventures with your friends. But you do always have a home here in Akros with me if you want to.
Hang on. Is that okay?
And he says, these orbs, I had them specially made. They will allow us to communicate. You may, per day, send me one message and I can respond, and equally I can send you one message and you can respond. I got the idea from Phaedra, actually.
How did that go?
I was amazed. I didn't know that some people had this power.
Oh, not that, the other thing. But
it's only once per day, but if you don't mind.
Day, I imagine is about all you'll be able to stomach, so.
You know, that's not as true as you might think, Estrella. I think I will miss you.
I don't think she actually answers that one, but yeah. She doesn't answer that one, but it is very apparent on her face. Just like the, oh no, I'll miss you too, fuck you.
And he kind of smiles and he says, I believe you just need to speak into it, but if you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate if you could check in with me and let me know that you're safe.
I suppose I can do that.
Good.
And you should know before, I believe we're leaving first thing in the morning. I don't know how early. I may or may not have put the fear of God into your retainers. And your guards. So, sorry. They might not leave you alone, ever.
Well, that's, I'm not even angry.
Look.
I won't be able to see you off tomorrow, so this is goodbye.
Just for a
At least until
split
you
second,
return.
she just looks destroyed. Just for a split second. I do know how you like to sleep in.
No, I have a meeting with the Queen Regent again.
And again. You are more worthy of this position than your father ever was. Remember that.
Thank you, Stray.
And do me a favor while I'm gone. Don't get yourself killed. I put so much effort into hammering that shit into your head. I will not be here to fry the sneaky one trying to slip a dagger through your ribs from behind this time.
I assure you I shall do my very best.
Remember, I claim first right on your life. Maybe I shouldn't say
and
it
he
quite so
genuinely
loudly from now
laughs
on.
at that.
Maybe I should
genuinely
keep
laughs
that.
when you say I claim first right on your life. He genuinely laughs out loud. And he says, yes, you do.
Although maybe I shouldn't say it quite so loud from now on. Never know when I'm going to get arrested and dragged off, but...
And yeah, he just kind of smiles. And he says, well then, Astrea. Good luck on your journey.
Good luck on yours. Until we meet again, Lord Commander Cassian. And I'll turn and walk out.
He lets you have the last words.
What a gentleman, honestly.
What a gentleman. And I think we're going to head to break now. That feels like a nice time to go into break. A little bit later than usual. So we'll be about 15 minutes. So we will be back at 4:55-ish. Cool. See you soon, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us so far. And I cannot wait to come back and tell the rest of the story, where we will be fast forwarding to Miletus. We need to give time for Jen to recover. Bye. Hello, everyone. I just forgot that I was supposed to speak then. Hi. We are back. We are back with season 2, episode 2 of Therosian Odyssey, Tides of Volition. And we are very excited. Oh, there is something going on with the cameras
it
right
sure
now.
Is. Who turned off their camera?
Places. So, Joan,
was...
take it away.
What am I? Oh,
please hold.
We're on the ocean.
Oh no, everyone has swapped places apart from Jen.
Apart
Jen,
from me,
what's going on here?
Someone turned off their camera. I didn't do shit.
I know who it was, but I'm not telling.
I also know who it was, but I'm not telling
I think
either.
it was me.
I wasn't gonna say it, but since you're saying it.
I was gonna say we've established I wouldn't know how to, so.
It could have been me. It could have been me, or it might not have been.
Oh, I know who it was, but I'm not gonna call people out today.
Oh man, if only we'd realised this before going live.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's everyone doing?
Also, I wouldn't have been able to fix it because that would have required us switching over to this overlay. So it would not have made a difference. But we're fine now. We're good.
Look, Kumi's just been put directly in the picture.
As she should be. Kumi deserves the spotlight.
As she should be. Okay, let's try this again. Welcome back, everyone, to Therosian Odyssey Season 2, Tides of Volition. We are on episode 2 right now, and we are on part 2 of episode 2. Darcy wants Jen to ask about studio mode, but maybe
I mean, I
not
feel
right
like
now
that I know that studio mode exists, I can figure out what it is, but good to know.
Studio mode exists, apparently. There you go. Some top tips there for anyone managing streams and finding it difficult. That's what we're here for. As you might have noticed, our little map background has changed. And that is because our players will now be starting in Miletus. We have all had a chance to say our heartbreaking goodbyes, if we had them, to various characters. So you have travelled here to Miletus, and it took you a little while, but you finally arrived with Dion of the Burning Spears has also made his way with you. And you arrive in this huge portside city. The hustle and bustle here, I mean, Akros is a busy city, and in its own way, Setessa is also a busy city. Setessa feels a little bit more peaceful because there's all the pretty trees and the bird song and everything going on around it, but it's still a busy city, like especially the markets. They can get quite feisty, and Akros is also busy in a sort of more orderly way, I imagine, being a little bit more military based, but certainly busy. But I don't think, apart from those of you who have come from Miletus, any of you have really witnessed the level of hustle and bustle that you find here in Miletus. It is just this monument to civilization. And that makes sense because it is a forest city. You will find absolutely everything you need here for all of the temples are beautifully built and constructed. It's got a really successful, busy dock. There's libraries and edifices of knowledge, schools. It's just absolutely bustling with life, and it just seems to constantly be like that. In a lot of cities there's kind of like dips throughout the day, but it just always seems to be busy, especially around the port side. You arrive, and you know that you have a ship waiting for you. I am going to put you a little on the spot because we did originally say that you all would want to name the ship. And I wondered if you had any ideas, especially you, Kiwi. This was your passion project, so I assume that you've got a whole list waiting to go. Take it away.
No pressure.
It's okay if you don't. We can just vaguely refer to it as the ship.
I have two really unoriginal ones, but
Go for it. I did not think of this. I was thinking we'd find it while we're at sea, and then suddenly we'll be like, voila, that's it.
That could be the case. But go on, Lulu.
I was just gonna say, just the two that popped into my head when you asked was Windrunner or Wave Dancer. Both very unoriginal ship names.
I like both of them, honestly.
The Wind Wave Runner Dancer.
The Wind of Run, sir.
I actually really like Wave Dancer.
I also like Wave Dancer a lot. Damn.
But we can workshop it as we go, if we want to. Let's call it for now the ship.
The
Castrea, I see.
Yeah.
The name
Shippy McShipface.
I was thinking of, since we all of us kind of like purple a bit, especially Durkle.
The Durkle!
And you have like purple haze, but I was thinking of Durkle waves as a sort of name.
Oh my god.
And it is the Windark Sea.
The Durkle Wave Runner.
I love it. Done. Perfect. Sold. A+.
Yep.
Because we have established that Durkle is part of the Therosian language, the official Therosian language. They don't bother creating two words for dark and purple. It's just
Durkle.
combine together. That was established from session 1.
I swear to God. Just a slip of the tongue in very session 1.
But it made me feel so much more comfortable that happened, so it was perfect.
Okay, so your ship. I can't believe we've actually come up with one. I just was really just here to rib you all, and this has happened. The Durkle Wave Runner then.
All right.
And you know what to look for, because you are told that this ship in particular has these beautiful, like, ornate silk, I don't know if that's a good material for ships, purple sails. So that is what you are looking for along the port side. You also know that your crew will be waiting there, the one that has been hired by Jericho. So, is there anything that anyone would like to do in Miletus before we head to the boat?
Eva's gonna want to probably quickly go around to maybe some of the shops to see if anything fancy and shiny and maybe secretive piques her interest.
Is there anything in particular that you are looking for?
I'll probably use detect magic as I am prancing around.
So
My
you're
new
looking for
skill.
a fancy magical item, is that correct? Yeah.
Something fun and
All right.
magical.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, there's
Krubix gave me
plenty-
detect magic and said there was a secret somewhere if I could find it.
Yeah, he did.
Gonna go do that.
Okay, that is fine. Cool. So you sort of you kind of all arrive, and Dion says, I'm told maybe that we will reconvene there in a few hours or something. There's a couple of things that he wants to do. And Eva, you scuttle off as you are, known to do at this point. I would imagine the party have sort of started to become a little used to you just disappearing and then reappearing. So you all know that Eva will be at the boat at the required time, and you don't need to worry about where she has gone off to. I would like you to first, I would like you to make an investigation check because there's a lot of buildings and a lot of shops around. And then I would like you to also so you're activating your detect magic. So just mark that off as well. You are muted right now.
That'll do it. Thank you very much. Wasn't paying attention. So I will set off my. I'm assuming we've had a long rest so that I can reset some of this.
Yes. You've been traveling for a few days. All of you are well rested. All of you are back up to full on everything.
Okay. I'm going to use my detect magic, and then I'm going to roll for investigation. You had said. So I am going to use my Kenku recall to gain advantage on that.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm just gonna do so I now have advantage on that roll. I'll roll it gross twice. Oh, gross, double gross. 13 is the highest I got out of that.
13, that's not too bad. I would say it just takes you a little bit longer. You kind of disappear, and as you kind of like walking around, you suddenly become very aware of the fact that you're just like walking around and you don't actually know these streets. You know Setessa, you have some bearing of, you can pick things like that up quite quickly. So you have a good bearing of Akros now because you've been there a couple of times. But Miletus, you've never been here. So you kind of spend some time observing where people are heading off to, what they seem to be buying, listening in onto some conversations, and somebody kind of, is talking about magic at one point, and some magical supplies that they need. So you kind of follow them for a bit. You kind of disappear between these little side streets, between shops and things like that, and you activate your detect magic. And the whole street just all around you just lights up. Whereas in other areas that you've been to, Setessa is market based, so doesn't really have like shops. It has a couple of shops, but there's a big market, the Arborea market in Setessa. And then Akros is kind of a bit of a mixture between a sort of bazaar, but there are a few magical shops, and it's mostly like magical weapons, magical armor. They have their kind of own thing. And then there is just like generic magic other shops. Here they seem to have really taken the magic and really delved it down into people's specialities. So you're kind of walking along the street and you can see like there's shops that are just filled with plants. And there's just all this magic blooming out of it. And then there's shops just filled with just swords, just bows, kind of really nitty gritty details. And at one point, you walk past, you get to kind of more where there seems to be some sort of the more like fashion oriented things. So you can see that there's like capes and hats and cloaks and things. And then the shop opposite, you are immediately drawn in by the shiny. There is so much jewelry in that shop, and it just sparkles. And the magic, the detect magic, is going wild. So yeah, I mean, the whole street is lined with things, but I feel like a kind of little like the little corvidkin that you are, I feel like the shiny jewelry shop might interest you most, but feel free to head into whichever one you want to.
Yeah, I think Eva will kind of follow that inspiration to go to the necklaces, the jewelry, the shiny. As we all know, she does enjoy her shiny things, her shiny jewels. As she's coming up to the shop, she's kind of like look over everything and then close her eyes for a moment. And in that moment, she's going to go through the recess of her mind into herself and the secrets of her own mind, and sort of ask Kruvix if there is something here that speaks to him, and if he had brought her here for a reason. And once after she asks that, she will open her eyes once again, and sort of look over all of the items, seeing if something might draw her attention.
Roll. I'm gonna get you to roll. Roll for me. I feel like it needs to be Arcana.
Ooh, gross. Gross. Okay.
Arcana or religion.
Okay, that's a 17.
17. Okay. You reach in and really try to communicate with Kruvix in the way that you know how, because he's not really the talkative type. And for a moment, you kind of get nothing back. And then just this general feeling of amusement, and the sense that, yes, there might be something in there useful for you. It's not the secret that he had promised, but your eye hones in on one particular necklace.
So Eva will then.
It's kind of at the back.
So she's gonna feel that. She's gonna kind of point to it and look up at the shopkeeper, and like hold up a gold coin questioningly.
He sees where you're pointing and he goes, oh yeah, and he takes it down, and he says, now this, I mean, are you going out to sea?
Maybe.
Let me just get exactly what this does for you.
No,
even well, this is very useful, especially for some of our more higher caliber sort of admirals and things. It is called a necklace. It allows you to adapt, I suppose. You strike me as someone very adaptable. It will let you breathe normally in any environment. So you can be underwater, you can be in a cloud of gas, you can be in, anything. And it will you'll be able to breathe there just fine, no problems. And then as he's kind of halfway through the spiel, he notices the single gold coin. And he goes, but it might be a little out of your price range.
He was going to pull out another gold coin.
You know, if it's the design you like, they sell some great replicas in the gift shop. And then another customer walks in and he goes, if you'll excuse me. And he walks over to the other customer.
Did he hang it back up?
He did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. His back is turned.
His back is turned. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I can do here.
Oh man, why did Callista not go with her?
I need you to know that was one of 2 items that I was looking at, and I'm glad that I picked the other one.
So Eva is going to cast her mage hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go find those. Where is my mage hands? Skills, no. Spells, that's the one. Aha, at will, excellent. So I'm going to cast my mage hands. I'm going to sit there and sort of watch his body language as he's speaking to the other customer. And the moment that I feel that both of them are distracted enough, I am going to mage hands that necklace. But at the same time, I'm going to leave behind 10 gold.
Okay. I would like you to make a stealth sleight of hand check.
Yep. To which I'm also going to use
how well you control the mage hands. It's not heavy at all. So you'll be able to lift it and everything with them, but just I will give you advantage because you yourself are not moving. It is your hands moving for you, sticky fingers. Yep. So roll with advantage for me.
So sorry, you wanted me to do stealth?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, okay. With advantage. Okay, so I'll roll that twice. 18. So I got 18.
18. Yeah, it's not a particularly smart shopkeeper. So so he's kind of really busy talking to this guy that's just come in, and you continue to watch him. You lean slightly against the counter, and the moment that you really see that moment where they are completely embroiled in each other's conversation, and the shopkeeper turns away to look at the other side, and the customer is facing where the shopkeeper is walking to. In just a few seconds, your mage hand, with his little talons, darts out, grabs the necklace. The other one takes a necklace where there's sort of 2 hanging one after the other, and pops it up where the first one was originally. The original one that's holding it pops it in your pocket, and then the other mage hand takes 10 gold, puts it on the counter. And in that second, the guy kind of he's grabbing something down, and he's got this kind of tray of rings, and he turns around and he looks at you and goes, sorry, is there anything else I can help you with?
Eva's gonna shake her hand, but she's hidden the 10 gold kind of between a couple of necklaces, so it might take him a minute to find it. But she's leaving that behind, shaking her head, and she's going to disappear back into her shadows.
All right, have a good day. And he continues to serve the customer. And you have stolen yourself a necklace of adaptation, so well done.
I have paid it, but yeah.
Yes, minus 10 gold, but it definitely was worth a little bit more than that. So well done.
Okay, so I'm also going to put a little IOU No, is going to be wrapped around the coins.
I owe you. Sorry, this is really important and I need this. Cool. So you've grabbed that. Was there anything else that you wanted to do before heading to the boat?
No, Eva's going to feel quite proud of herself right now. And with like a ruffle in her feathers and a skip in her step and a shiny necklace hidden because, you know, still fresh to thievery, she's going to head back over to where she was supposed to meet everyone else.
All right. Is there anything that anyone else wanted to do? Yes, Jen.
Hi. I also have some shopping to do. I recognize that there's almost no way I'm going to be able to pay for this, but we're going to see if I can figure something out. I'm going to go ahead and find the enchanted clothing shop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick to... Is there... Actually, let me check and see if I have... Okay, no, I don't. All right. Okay, well, we're just gonna try this anyway. I'm going to try and, like pull up the head of my, like, the hood of my, like, mundane cloak and just kind of, like, keep a low profile. Find the magic clothing shop and, ask them if they might have, anything that can, in the meta, I'm looking for a cloak of the manta ray.
Cloak of the manta ray.
Yeah.
I'm a really big fan of all of these people finding things to help them swim and to breathe underwater and everything. And we're just going to be left once more with poor Kalika, the only person unable to swim.
I mean, Estrella can swim. She just has
okay,
she just has the strength of like a sad little something. So it'll be easier to have a good swimming speed and, more importantly, an underwater breathing feature.
Okay. Oh, a swimming speed of 60 feet.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because let's be real, Estrella, at some point will be pulled overboard.
You would be able to definitely find a shop that sold that.
Yeah.
How much gold do you have?
Not enough. Like under 200. Like not nearly enough. Yeah.
Okay. You end up in this magical shop that is, it's kind of large. It almost is a kind of like an emporium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like has this kind of all of these different items, and there is like a section that kind of has its clothing, and you know exactly what you're looking for, and you would, having lived here, know where to find it. And you kind of
I have a
meet
plan,
up with
don't
this
worry.
very bored looking like sales clerk. Okay. And he goes, "Hey, welcome in. How can I help?"
I am looking for a price point on your Durkle Manta Ray cloaks, please.
Durkle Manta Ray cloaks. That'll be... Ooh, hold on, let me get the pricing list up. And he just gets out and he kind of just checks through his inventory. And he goes, yeah, 200.
And what if I had something to trade for it?
Like what?
She holds up the Cloak of Arachnida.
Whoa!
Plus some cash on the side, of course, from your end.
Hold up, because I feel like, isn't that worth a lot?
It is, yeah. So I'm just like, I'm asking for the cloak plus a bunch of cash on the side.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You would probably know this. This is gonna be way too much money.
Does this place buy things? Is the other question.
You get the sense not really. Like they might do like like for like value
Okay,
or up to
yeah.
a certain amount, but it's not going to be like, I mean, this thing is a very
Yeah,
rare
it's
item.
very, yeah, it's spicy. Okay.
Yeah, they would, you would need to find a specialist to sell this to.
Gotcha. All right,
it's
how
not.
about...
He kind of looks at you though, and he goes, "Hey, you study at the Decacia?
I do.
We do student discount."
She kind of like ruffles around in her bag. How much of a trade will this get me? And she holds up the alchemy jug.
The alchemy jug.
It's the same rarity. Like, it's less useful, but
He kind of looks at you.
Look, I'll be straight with you. It's great to have a student discount. It leaves me with less of a buffer than I would like, so I am looking to see what this will get me.
Selling point of the jug, it can hold so much wine. Like, if it's
It
a
can.
student city,
That's a gallon of wine.
Student city.
4 gallons of beer.
Oh, wine.
And for some reason, 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
This jug. He looks at you and he goes, I mean, the jug is worth probably like, okay, you know what, with the discount and the jug, 100 gold.
I'm debating if I want to make a really bad choice. Don't want to make a really bad choice. Oh, guys, do I want to make a really bad choice? Okay. Yes, okay.
isn't that the motto of your character?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you are Estrella.
I am Hey!
Eh.
I hate myself. Bill it to Nestor.
Bill it to Nestor? Is that the, did I hear that correctly?
Yep.
Oh, fuck, you just made a bad choice.
I
know. Bad choice. Okay. He's like, He looks at you and he looks a little like off put for a second, and then he goes, what was Nestor's address?
Damn, I was really hoping that he'd know them. Okay.
Wait, as in like,
yes.
and then he kind of looks around and he goes, as in like,
yes,
the Nestor.
yes.
Okay. What name do I put it under? Because you know he's gonna want a name.
He doesn't need to know about this. It's a birthday gift.
Nestor will want a name.
I will. Emma.
So, and birthday gift, you owe this shop 100 gold. Happy birthday. Like, okay. So he's like,
I didn't say it was for him.
Emma. Man, this feels. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Like, I will shell out the 100 gold if I have
because
to.
this feels
however,
like
comma.
this feels like this could be more than his job is worth. If
Oh
you
yeah.
were just
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's an 8. Fuck.
It's an 8.
Yep.
Okay. I'll bill it to Nesta.
Estrella thinks it worked.
Estrella thinks it worked. Yeah, I think it could be fun to have just turned you down, but then I thought it could also be fun to have consequences appear elsewhere.
Oh,
so,
100%.
So he takes the cloak off, hands it to you. There you go. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Appreciated. And she will reach in into her pocket and hand him the potion of radiant resistance that she has. Consider it a tip for your silence. I wasn't here. Or you could conveniently forget my description. Thank you.
He takes it. But says nothing. Just pockets it.
I will head back to the ship with my brand new cloak and think about my choices.
You know what? I was not expecting that. Okay.
Here's the thing, like, that is, that's a lot of gold, man.
It is. It's an expensive thing that you wanted.
It is an expensive thing. So I'm just like, I will avoid the consequences now and deal with them later. Consider it a love letter to Cassian that I would do this for him.
Okay.
Anything that anyone else wants to do?
Callista just wants to do a little shopping too, but hers will be much quicker. She doesn't need to find a magic shop or anything. She just needs to find a shop that sells jewelry, but it doesn't have to be magical.
Absolutely. And yeah, you know Miletus very well as well, so you can easily find one of those.
Okay, and she doesn't know very much about money, so she, having grown up in the temple, she has a little bit of gold. We'll see how it goes. She's just looking for a pair of, the spell requires platinum rings, but if you're okay with it, she would like to get platinum bracelets instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's what she's looking for.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Platinum bracelets. Does it say that they have a particular amount attached to them?
50 gold
50?
each.
Do you have 50 gold each? Do you have that amount?
No, she has 90. So she is really hoping that she's going to play into her role as a representative of the temple to try to get a discount.
Yes.
I love all of these, like, drawing on connections. It's so
I
fun.
love it. You've all gone rogue and it's all going so wrong. Okay. You enter the shop, and the shopkeeper looks up at you, and he does immediately clock your kind of attire, and he goes, a representative of our great Afara. How can I help?
Blessings be upon you. I am here on a mission. I need to acquire 2 platinum bracelets for the temple. Is that something you would be able to help me with?
Absolutely. 50 gold pieces each.
The temple did say that we get a discount. They didn't send me with quite that much.
Indeed. How much did they send you with?
They sent me with 90. She has no conception of what gold is worth or that she might need to keep some, so she's willing to spend all of what she has because she's never had to buy anything before.
I'll roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh, what's my plus on persuasion? That's a 5.
Okay.
This is all going so well.
You're all doing so good. He says, I wasn't aware of a discount for the temple.
If you would
I'm
like,
sorry, I will
I could-
require another 10 gold pieces.
I could tell your fortune if you would like.
Oh, really? Well, it has been some time since I visited the temple. I will take 90 and a reading this time, but I will be talking to Kafana about this.
Oh, of course. But what is the question that you would like answered? And she's gonna cast augury for him if it will get her the rings.
I guess well, and he kind of looks a little bit like embarrassed as he just realizes he's about to like do or something. The person goes, guess my answer the question would be will he say yes?
And so Callista will pull out her shards of granite and do her ritual and beseech Afara for an answer to his question. And I'm really hoping it's a yes.
All right, you do your ritual, and after some time, and as you're kind of doing a ritual, you kind of look around the shop and you can see that something that he's been what he was polishing as you came in was this beautiful like customized ring, and it's just like obviously a very personal, like you can see the love that has gone into the design of it, and whoever this ring is for, he clearly cares about him very much. So he kind of waits nervously. Well, and you kind of pluck this piece of pottery, and inscribed upon it is the message. A yes is for certain, but I think you already knew that.
Aww. And so she'll kind of look around the shop and see him polishing the ring and everything, and she's like, I think the goddess will definitely bless your endeavor. She smiles very favorably upon you. And he's going to be a very lucky man.
He kind of, I'm terribly nervous. You know what? Thank you. You've really calmed me down. And he takes 10 gold from the 90 that you gave him. And he goes, there you go. Consider this a personal gift. And so you have 10 gold back. You paid 80.
Lista doesn't need gold anyway. I mean, after all.
And you made him very happy. He now feels a little bit more at ease, and hopefully his proposal will go well.
Perfect.
So is there anything else that you wanted to do, Lulu?
Callista would go back to the ship and find Kalyuka, and she'd go up to her and she said, Kalyuka, I've never really had much family, and I've never had a sister, but I feel kind of like if I did, I would want her to be just like you. And she'll hold out the bracelet, and I got this for you. It'll help me keep you safe if we get into battle, and mechanically it's so that she can cast warding bond on Kalyuka.
Kalyuka is going to be like so happy. She has no idea about it, but she thinks that, the way that everybody helped her out by casting light on her morning star, that, looking at Callista and seeing the CEO there, and, remembering that she had raised doubts about, not being able to swim, she automatically assumes that this bangle will help her swim without thinking of anything else.
This is gonna go so well.
She picks up Callista and kind of like holds her up really high, and then she's just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I was so worried, and did it come to you in a dream? Did the goddess tell you that give her a bangle and she'll be protected?" But whatever it is, it's okay. It's okay. I get you. I get you. And she does this sort of winking face.
Y'all, this is so cute.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't wait for the moment when Caliuca, with all the confidence in the world,
Just jumps in the
dives
water
into the stormy water.
and just like a stone.
Well, on the
Like
plus
a
side,
stone.
if I cast the spell, she'll have a +1 to
Warding
saving
bond.
throws.
Oh, that's good. That will help her live for another few seconds before she drowns. Okay. So you arrive back at the boat. Is anyone else doing anything at all? Yes, Joan.
So I either want to try to find gloves of swimming and climbing, or a +1 or +2 weapon.
Okay. Literally everyone is going shopping for things that will help them swim. And now Caliuca thinks that she has something, so won't. This is great. Okay, yes. Okay, I need to just quickly. So you're either looking for a +1 +2 weapon, or gloves of swimming and climbing. Do you ask anyone where you might find these things?
Sure. I'll ask someone at the docks about the swimming and climbing gloves. Maybe
More meant like your fellow players who might
like Callista or Estrella, maybe, who grew up here.
Hey kids, anyone know where I could get some gloves for swimming?
Oh yeah, actually I was just there. Oh. Come with me.
Cool.
Are you going back?
I will bring her to the store. I'm not going back inside.
Okay, yeah, great. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Just ride on through. Off you go. You don't need me. I'm out.
Yep.
On the way over there, Onyx is gonna lean over and be like, "By the way, Cassian came to see me before we left."
Is that why you asked me to not tell him about the
Oh yeah. That was just a joke. But
oh.
he asked me to keep an eye on you. I think he's really concerned.
You just see a lot of emotion just flash over her face.
Anyways, just in case he thought he was all bite.
Promise 1,000 tears.
Anyways, I'll see you when I'm done.
You broke Jen again.
Jen is going to choose to not be a terrible human being and
All right. Okay.
I'm sure he'll be all by at some point.
How much gold do you have?
I have about 80 gold, but I also have a potion, a scroll, some thieves' tools, and the Erastian dagger for trade.
Amazing. The dagger, I believe, was a dagger +1.
Yes.
Yeah. You could probably swap that. And what did you say gold wise?
80.
There's gloves of swimming and climbing. It is literally just to give you like a little bonus. It doesn't give you a swim speed or anything like that, so it's not going to be quite so expensive. So yeah. I think you could probably trade the dagger and pay them 30 gold on top. for gloves of swimming and climbing.
Cool. Which means I'm probably SOL on the weapon then.
Probably.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to steal a weapon.
Jesus.
I mean, I could work for it, but I don't know that we have that much time.
Eva steps out of the shadows.
Cat here, like being like, why don't you all make interesting choices today?
What I will say, Joan, is that I don't really think like you, because you're in kind of like, I suppose, the magical version of like it's just a department store. Like it's not. It's so soulless that you've got like your weapon, and you've got it's got like your mother's love and the kind of handcrafted stuff poured into it, and the weapons that they show you, they just don't really match up in your eyes in terms of quality.
I'd rather improve the weapon that I have than try to buy a shitty replacement one.
I will say as your DM that a good route to go down is maybe to ask for a blessing from your patron deity to improve the weapon.
Alrighty. I will do that.
Do something for Nilia, and Nilia shall do something for you.
Tit for tat. Tit for tat.
Tit for tat, as it were. Cool. So you are all gathered.
So what you're saying is no.
So
this is not the OnlyFans version.
So Kaluka is not really used to preparing for battle herself. So she does anything any tourist would. So you can just imagine a montage of just Kaluka and Caillou going to different restaurants, eating food, standing and just like shaking hands with the tourists, picking up babies, things like that.
Yeah.
Oh my
This
God.
is everything that I wanted from Kaluka about the town.
And like we're just performing for people at the street, and before coming back and seeing everybody gathered there, she's gonna look for say like a street painter, someone who just paints portraits on the street, and see whether she can like kind of like commission them to take one portrait of all of them before they leave on their next journey, just to keep like, because she's just like, she comes from a huge family and they have a lot of family photos. And then, you know, that's one thing that she kind of like remembers, like having to stand for either hours on the end or a few minutes, depending on how good the hire was. But, you know, standing there with a whole family and all of them having to like smile for it so that they could hang it on their wall. And she just does, she kind of wants to do it with her new family too.
All right. So you finished like this. Do you know what? Actually, I will get you to roll me a performance check.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see if we could recoup some losses.
I rolled well. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not too bad.
You did great. You did absolutely great.
It's a 21 total.
21 total. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
The only stat I'm good at.
You win the hearts of the people. I'm going to just bear with me one moment. I need to find random treasure. This is what I want. Roll for me. Roll for me 4d6.
4d6. That is a 14 total.
That's pretty good. That's good. You recoup 140 gold.
Wow.
The people of
Wow.
And they kind
I'm
of
still gonna buy Onyx anything she wants for crafting material and buy like a small present for everybody.
Recoup some money. And you can use that the street painter will simply ask for 5 gold to commission this piece. Because we all know the artists undervalue themselves. And should ask for more.
I'm gonna give them 30 gold though.
30.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. It's how much I had before the performance.
Accurate, the most detailed drawing on the street that they've ever drawn, and it takes up a big space. It's just before the docks. If you want, are you all getting in on the picture?
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, I guess we will actually find out very soon what this picture might look like. Maybe. But that will come in a future session. So you all get in on this picture. And it's at that point that you are hailed by a sort of a woman. She's wearing like a kind of like a naval captain's jacket and sort of very tight leggings and high-heeled boots. And she kind of waves to you. Dion of the Burning Spear standing very much off to the side while you're all posing for your portrait, just like looking uncomfortable and waiting for you all to finish. A bit sad that he's not part of the group. And she kind of like pales and she goes, "So you are here for the Durkle Wave Runner?"
Yeah.
You're the captain.
Wow.
We I assume.
Indeed. Jericho spoke highly of you. I look forward to sailing with you all. And she kind of looks at you, Eva, and gives you a nod. And she hands you a parcel.
Will go wide, and she's gonna scurry her little feet up and take it and violently rip it open.
Yep, violently rip it open, and it is a beautiful, large trilby hat with the longest, most gorgeous feather. And she says, as requested, Jericho sought you the finest.
Eva's gonna like be in awe of it, and then she's gonna like reach to her arm feathers and she's gonna pluck one out and she's gonna add it in with the other feather in the hat, and then she's gonna like slip it over her head, but it's obviously like too big for her, so she's kind of like plops down. She can't see out of it, but she's like holding on to it with all the love that she can, and then she's going to try and walk back to the group, but she can't really see, so she's kind of veering off to the side a little bit.
Oh my god. I love her.
And she will say, I think I might have said the wrong type of hat, actually. Was it a trilby hat that you wanted?
No, I think it was a tricorn.
Tricorn. I said trilby, didn't I?
Yeah,
you did.
Tricorn hat, everyone. Very different things. I'm glad everyone else is awake because I'm clearly not. I just was like, I know it begins with tri, and then I just went trilby.
Maybe that's another name for a tricorn hat. I don't know. I don't know my hats.
Trilbies are basically curly fedoras.
Yeah.
A trilby is like a
So I was like,
Tricorn.
Right. Interesting.
Tricorn hat. Thank you for that correction, Joan. Or I'm gonna live that one down. Okay.
No, you're not.
No.
Should have put that on the boat words list.
Yes. Love a good Dirkle
Can you please
trilby.
add it to the document?
Of
Clearly, I
certificate.
just know absolutely nothing about the sea. Okay. And she will kind of sort of lead you aboard the boat and yell at a variety of kind of like crew as they kind of getting ready to go. They're pretty much already finished their preparations. They were already aboard. And she says, to kind of like all the gangplank, and you will, as we end, begin to sort of sail away with the intention that you will meet your crew properly next session. But we will end in Miletus as you are on your journey out and the sun begins to set. A figure comes onto the docks accompanied by a shop boy. And he says, and you're sure she went this way? And the young boy says, yeah, I had her followed. She was mighty suspicious. She said her name was Emma. And this guy, he says, I don't know an Emma. And he sort of scans around, and his eyes are drawn to a beautiful piece of art drawn on the path with all of its gorgeous detail. And he kind of takes a step forward, and his eyes widen, and his fists clench ever so slightly. And he points at one figure in the picture, stood slightly off to the side with her dark hair cascading down her back, a book in hand, and a new cloak around her shoulders. And he says, her though, her I do know. And that's where we'll end the session, everyone. Game consequences.
Oh my god, those were very fast consequences. Wow.
Yeah, would have probably been a bit slower had Kaliuka not gone, let's draw a massive picture of what the party looks like on the street, right next to the docks. But yeah, I thought, I just went, yeah, great, yeah, only going to charge you a measly 5 gold. Can't wait for this
For that
cutscene.
plot hook. It's a good plot hook phrase.
For joining us. We're going to go around, and in the next session, I will introduce you properly to your new crewmates and everything like that, and we will set sail. But let's start with, I'm going to start with Kumi again this time, and then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So Joan, you'll be up next afterwards. Kumi, take it away. Who are you? What are you all about?
Hello, I'm Kumi. I also stream on this other channel called The Pigeon Killers, but what I work on the most is my page called Kumi's Curiosities, which is this little Indian D&D shop. And yeah, that's for me. I just recently made a set of really dark purple dice, so I got really excited about that, especially during this stream. But yeah, that's fun.
All right. Joan, let's go.
I'm Joan. Hi. I played Onyx and stuff. I don't know why this is a surprise to me every single time. Mostly because I'm tired. Also, I had fun today. I don't know what else to say. Oh yeah, you can find me here on Girls Run These Worlds, or also sometimes guest hosting or assisting with stuff on Three Black Halflings. And you can find me on all the social medias as the Rogue Senna, but the with one E, not like the Stallion Megan type.
The Stallion Megan type. Jen, you're up next.
Oh my god, hi, sorry, I'm still reeling a little bit from that. Hi friends, I am Jen. I'm your friendly local director of information technology at Girls Run These Worlds. You can find me on Twitter at JenBurb, and apparently sometimes streaming Fire Emblem Engage now, because that's the best way that I can think of to get my various friends that care about Fire Emblem, in one place. I'm sorry, there's a lot of emotions running around today with me.
I think I broke my cast today.
You did. Yeah, that's me. Moving on. Hello, bye.
Okay, so we'll just move on to Lulu. Lulu, it's your go.
Oh, hi, I'm Lulu. I have been playing Callista, the party's cleric, who's really thinking at that had she remembered to tell the party that she could cast Water Walk on them if they ever needed. Some of this might have been avoided. Also turns out that role-playing is a really good way to clear your head. I'm feeling so much better now than I was when I started the stream, so thank you. Now you can find me on Twitter at Lulu in Washington, where I post a lot of pictures of the minis I've been painting and the terrain that I've been making.
All right. And last but not least, Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay. I'm starting to think I'm a rogue Kenku. I don't have much to say other than I'm worried this is going to have like a Treasure Island kind of twist to it with this crew that we have to find. But who knows what's going to happen next week. When I'm not here, I have an adorable little anime store called Doki Doki Belleville with another member of this wonderful team at Girls Run These Worlds. Her name is Jessie. So when I'm not here, I'm being a giant cosplay anime nerd and having a good time. But Sundays are always my favorite with all of these wonderful girls here to my left and my right and wherever they are on the screen. So thank you everyone for making the end of my week so wonderful and something to look forward to.
All right, I guess that leaves me somehow still surprised also that even though I've had all of this time to prepare. I'm Kat, otherwise known as the Law Mistress. You can find me on Twitch at the Law Mistress, or you can find me on almost all other social media as Law Mistress 93. I have been your dungeon master, storyteller, game guide, whatever you want to call it, today. You can also find me writing, editing. All of my rates are kind of on my link tree at my Twitter page. And in the chat now as well. When I'm not doing that, I also stream. Obviously, I streamed here at Girls Run These Worlds yesterday. I do this every Sunday. I will soon be on Redemption's channel, streaming my first ever game of Call of Cthulhu, where I will be playing the most dramatic, flounciest actress who is just not quite ready for some of the horrors that she's probably going to face. She's a socialite, so the most horrifying thing that she has to contend with right now is a wardrobe malfunction. But I will be there playing that. And what else am I doing? I'm, just drop me a message. I'm always really down to talk TTRPG. So cool. That is everything. And we will see you next week, where hopefully our crew will have a jolly old time at sea. Okay. Should we raid? Should we raid into someone?
We absolutely should. Let's take a look and see who
Let's take a look. Should have been doing that while I was talking.
Let's find out together.
We could raid into I got
Let's go ahead and do Nerds Dice.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Let's go ahead and do another dice. So without further ado, what is coming up on Girls Run These Worlds this week? Actually, let me just have a little look at that. We currently have a casting call out to be on a show with Gascinator, who I played with yesterday. amazing stuff, and they're going to be running like a little like monster dating simulator with Gaynor, so it's going to be really fun. We've got casting calls out for the Quiet Year as well. That's a you thing, isn't it, Jen?
Yes, it is. It is actually going to be year long. We're going to be having our very first session this week. I believe it is 3 p.m. EST this coming Saturday, and we're actually going to have one a month all year. We do have an ongoing casting application. So if you want to be in one of our games this year, there are 12 of them. Well, now 11 that are not cast yet. So shoot us an application, and we'll see if we can get you in to play the Quiet Year with us.
I want to play the Quiet Year so badly, so I'm very
Apply for it.
And don't forget, we just released our first zine for Girls Write These Worlds.
Yes, we just released the first scene. This is what I was. Oh god, I should be better at this. I'm so tired. I'm so sorry, everyone.
You're good.
Plug it away. The zine. So we just released that just Thursday, just gone. And I showcased. You can find the VOD here. I showcased the amazing adventure written by Fleet, who did a fantastic job writing a dungeon about rebirth and with themes of sort of death and grief and loss, and it was so sad. And I cried a lot on stream. So if you want to watch me cry, as well as some of my players, then please do watch that VOD. And
yeah, you should be the one crying for once, not me.
And I don't think it was featured in the stream, but I do have an NPC in there, so check her out.
Yes, Joan has an NPC in there as well. Oh god, there's so much exciting stuff everyone's doing. I'm so proud of everyone.
I love this place.
Lancer is on Wednesdays, and Alien is on Fridays. We've got an amazing Alien stream coming up. I'm so excited about that. It's going to be sponsored by Free League, which is just incredible, and that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. GMT or 2:30 p.m. ET. So check that out if you're a big fan of Alien at any point in your life, or even if you're not and you like a little bit of horror, a little bit of sci-fi, definitely check that out. I think I've got everything. Oh, Wish We Weren't Here as well, headed by the amazing Arnica Ross. We've got so much stuff going on here at Girls Run These Worlds. All of the information, you can find it at Girls Run Worlds, that on Twitter. All of the casting calls, all of the adverts, everything, they are on there. And yeah, I will let us go now because we have run a little bit over time. But love you all. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.